ties with the region.
The OECD, but rather to France for the time being.
Summit in Goa, India. BIMSTEC is an
Good morning, Mr. Secretary General, State Minister Nakane, Minister Virasak, Dr. Surin Pisuwan, Ambassador Sihasak, fellow ambassadors, distinguished, having a brief discussion with Mr. Secretary General, His Excellency this morning, very briefly, makes me believe that we are in for a big time of meaningful engagement, a big time for a collaborative model that are more sustainable, and a big time of looking into the opportunities not only for OECD, not only for Thailand, but also for the region, especially in ASEAN, to make use and deploy digital technology in a meaningful way. And the reason I stress the word meaningful is because we have many public policy agenda to address, especially the inclusiveness of using digital network and digital technology. Some 20 years ago, I ran the National IT Committee, and at that time we were so worried about the impact of, at that time the word digital did not even appear. We were using information technology, then escalated to be ICT. But at that time, we were very worried about digital divide. The fact that it will separate populations into the haves and haves not of information and making use of information. But today, having run the Ministry of Digital Economy and Society for the past 7-8 months, led me to believe that we are entering digital bridge era. We can get rid of digital divide by the fact that we have good instruments, especially not only the technology side, but the policy, the regulation, as well as the human resource to make it happen. And in digital age, in a very short span of time. I was telling His Excellency this morning that Thailand would go broadband by the end of next year, not only in Bangkok, not only in metropolitan areas, but every village in Thailand will enjoy the infrastructure, especially the connectivity that we have been talking for years and years. We are spending only less than 2 years to do so. So I encourage our fellow friends in ASEAN to exchange views and policy so that we can make the whole ASEAN region connected. Not only each individual country, but the region as a whole. But that's not enough because infrastructure is hardware, is some software. But we have to make sure that we make use of this infrastructure cleverly. For example, we are now looking into setting up e-commerce platform, not only for business, but for exactly what Mr. Secretary General was addressing, and that is local SMEs, villages. In Thailand, we have a lot of what we call OTOP products, but where are they going to sell? But with the installation of e-commerce, which incorporates e-marketplace, e-payment system, and e-logistic, a simple, common villager at whatever age can, for the first time, take care of his or her own business with the power of only one mobile phone. And you know, it's possible today. Certainly, the central government will provide assistance in terms of providing training, information, as well as resource center. But again, for the first time, we ask that they do it themselves. Not the government trying to help, and then in the end, it's not sustainable. So this is the platform that we sincerely are moving ahead at the speed of digital. In conjunction with that, we cannot just do economic development. Digital technology must also address the livelihood and the quality of life of the people at large. So we have been experimenting with a high level of success, telemedicine, telehealth, as well as for the case of Thailand. Luckily, over the past 20, 30 years, we have installed a system so-called village health volunteers. Today, we have about 1 million strong throughout the country. Now, I've been talking to my good Minister of Public Health. We are going to equip these village health volunteers with digital technology. Just imagine how much disease we can prevent each year through this simple networking. Networking for knowledge, networking for immediate action when something really happens so quickly, and networking so that they can do consultation with those doctors who are far away in the cities. This has been proved that it is very possible, that it can cover every edge of the society, no matter how remote they are. There are so many things that digital ministry has to do, so let me just give you some keywords. But in the context of regional collaboration, as mentioned, cybersecurity is something very crucial, especially not only for each individual country, but for the region as a whole. And we have witnessed that through the attacks, such as WannaCry. When it happens, it comes very fast, and immediate action has to rise up to the occasion. So regional collaboration in cybersecurity is something that we must do. And next month, we are in ASEAN, we are going to have ministerial meeting on cybersecurity. And I hope that we at least can look into the critical infrastructure that cybersecurity has to protect. Our electricity, our water, our stock market, for instance. We also need to do a lot more in terms of trade facilitation through digital means. In Thailand today, we have a large number of projects in order to provide ease of doing business and big data, government connectivity, government facilitation, so that the merchants can come to a one-stop service, not having to go to a lot of paperwork in many agencies, as well as the electronic ID that can be used so that we don't have to use too many IDs in doing business. We also need to look at the e-government as a whole. Our Prime Minister has the other day asked our ministry to look into how to make the government, well, probably not paperless totally, less paper government. And that is also possible in this digital age. But the requirement is to get all 20 ministries to collaborate. A single ministry cannot do it alone. And it's the mindset, it's the workflow, and it's the adjustment of how bureaucracy has been operating over the past 50 or 100 years. We also need to look at the development aspect as also. A lot of things, when we do digital, we import a lot of equipment. And for a country like Thailand, we also need to get our people, especially our young startups, get the companies to develop hardware, software, integration system, and so on by ourselves, at least to a certain level. So at the moment, as we have the EEC, we are now committed to have a piece of land about 250 acres to make it Digital Park Thailand. It's happening now. It's happening today, and we are inviting big players, not only domestic players, but also multinational players to join us for this digital development ecosystem. Last but not least, in my view, we are going to encounter a lot of digital disruption. We have witnessed a number of them so far. It has really disrupted in a negative way, in a positive way. It also opens up opportunities, especially for our young generation, to be entrepreneurs, to be startups. Today, we have more than enough venture capital system in the country. A lot of funding that venture capital are quite ready. But we need feeders. We need universities to rise to the occasion, get rid of the outdated curriculum, and get students to be more entrepreneurs, to be more creative, and to be more innovative. This is a must. Otherwise, the outdated education would not be able to catch up with what's going on in the digital world today. And that is the grassroots of what I call human resource development for the future digital workforce that is much in need today. Human resource is the foundation of everything. For infrastructure, for hardware, we can buy. But for our own indigenous human resource, manpower, we need to construct, we need to develop them. So this is quite important for Thailand, and I'm sure it's important for all countries, especially with our friends in the ASEAN region. So ladies and gentlemen, these are just a few highlights that I think digital transformation must embark, must rise, but it should not take too long, because at digital age, speed is very important. Otherwise, a lot of development will be outdated the day that you are successful. So, and I think that through collaboration, whether it's physical collaboration, digital connectivity, I'm sure that the region as a whole can benefit from digital technology, not only in economic development, but also for social development, for environmental protection, as well as what has been designed in the SDG. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, His Excellency. Now, may we give the round of applause for all of our guests of honor one more time? Thank you. Now.